I'm going to start off today's lesson with a question of what do you think this is? And of course, looking at it, it's a very nice painting of the moon and the earth in the distance. But every once in a while, I have a very and observant student who notices that that is actually a a Google title. One of those little things that they put above the Google search, and they call them doodles. And I love how the footprints here make the L for, and that's the Googl, and then the E right there. Google, what they've done is, and you've probably seen it before, millions of people have, is they change their title page every once in a while, probably once every couple of weeks. The very first Google is that was changed was one of these, that the owner of Google was going to this place called the Burning Man Festival, and they had this giant sculpture in there. So he just put that behind it, and he got such a response and years ago that he actually was approached by some artists to say, hey, we could do that, full time. And they have ever since, which is kind of cool. Very creative, and I like it about my lessons is that it's a way for students to be very creative. Now there's like several artists that work for Google now. So as you can see, they put a lot of stuff into it. You can change it a little bit. You can add just like one little thing, like that apple right there, or you can change it completely. Um, here, here's a Halloween thing where they got these giant 300-pound pumpkins. Spent the day carving them, and made a little video. It's really exciting. Had all kinds of people show up and be crazy, and then at the end of the night they light them up so that you can see them. So kind of cool. That Halloween a couple years ago. Here's a video they did of they actually planted it. Now talk about creativity. Here's what you would have saw on April 29th, Earth Day. Like a 20-second little video to start off your day. Um, the here's the some of the Google artists talking about their profession.
Coming up with Google Doodle ideas actually comes from all over the place. It comes from not only the doodlers themselves, which is us, but also comes with other people who work at Google and our users from all around the world.
And then we try to find that suggestion and solve that as a creative problem in the most exciting way that we can manage to do.
We basically just try to celebrate anything that's techy and fun and geeky and artistic.
We also have ones that we do every year. So like Halloween, for example, we know it's going to come every year, so we can start planning way in advance.
The fortunate thing about finding inspiration for doodles is that we already have a subject matter. For instance, if we were celebrating St. Patrick's Day, we might look into Irish culture.
I usually start with research, look up reference imagery, and go from there, start sketching, brainstorming ideas.
So the inspiration comes from learning about what we're drawing. Doodle for Google is awesome because it gives kids all across the country the opportunity to take our jobs for a day. This year in particular is really cool. I'm really excited about the theme.
The theme is definitely, to me, really just super cool. I mean, my whole life, I've just dreamed about time travel.
I would definitely go to see the dinosaurs.
I may go back to the Renaissance just to see what they're doing.
I really find like the 1930s kind of interesting.
I mean, I have no idea where I would want to go, but to be able to express what you'd want to do on paper and show that to everybody, that's just really cool.
Okay, I have some advice for young artists. There's no shortcuts.
I would highly suggest that you draw every day and draw what you love.
I think above all, you should focus on having fun.
When you genuinely have fun, it shows.
You know, the last year's winner just drew exactly what he loves, and that's, you know, aliens devouring Google letters, and, you know, it wasn't trying to be right, it was just him having fun, and that definitely registered with us.
This year, the winning student is Mateo Lopez from South San Francisco, California.
I think I cried. Seriously, if you look at the footage from last year when Mateo Lopez won, I was having a moment.
For me, the pinnacle of success when I was growing up as a young artist was to actually have my artwork pinned on the chalkboard and you know, have it shown in front of the whole class. That to me was it. And for kids now to have the opportunity to have their artwork pinned on the homepage for millions of people to see is, you know, that's just awesome.
Okay, a little bit of what they do. This is, oh, we saw that one, sorry. And here's a fun one. This is, I think, a made-up holiday, made up by math teachers on, you know, March the 14th, which is the first three digits of pi, 3, 14, 1.4. Anyways, this is... So this is celebrating the circle, the formula for a circle, the radius of a circle. And here is, you know, kind of a United States theme. You don't have to do the same colors as they usually do. You can kind of change that around. And I think that's the real exciting thing for me. Here's something you may not know is that they do Googles for all over the world. This is one that was never shown in the United States. Just like Martin Luther King probably was never shown in China, but yet they're doing Googles all the time. There's a website you can go to and just see the hundreds of them that happen every year. Okay, little quiz. Can you recognize the artist or the artwork? I'd hope you recognize this one. This is one that it's all over the room. Excuse me. And here's one. Oh, excuse me. Anybody? This is Mary Cassatt. We watched a movie on her, and here's Pablo Picasso. Here's a fun one. Did I hear it? Vincent van Gogh. Keith Haring. That was a table last year. Something I'm going to go over with the 6th grade is Andy Warhol. So each of these famous artists, they like to do a lot of things with artists. Here's Martin Luther King. Every year they do Martin Luther King, something different. Sometimes it's realistic, sometimes it's fun, you know, sometimes they get other artists to do it. You know, it might be very kind of like this one, very serious. And this, you know, just kids playing together. What a great symbol of Martin Luther King had to say. Here, the Flintstones, Dr. Seuss, they just celebrate a lot of things, a lot of artists. Hungry Hippo, or this is the Hungry Caterpillar. Eric, no, who did that one? Oh, I forget. Google. There's Google, and this is fun. This is one of those machines that you pull the football, and that makes the bird turn that over, and I don't know. It just makes a whole thing there. Sometimes it's really hard to see, like the one with the moon. Like this is, if you look very carefully, you can see the G-O-O-G. And that might be the L right there, and then the E, and that circle down there is the bottom part of the G. Very abstract. Kind of cool, I think, when they get so abstract. What you're gonna do today is, here's kind of a sad one. Here's a good example of a student. Basically, what you're going to do is I have boards that have Google on it, and then just like the superhero drawings, if you take a piece of paper that goes in the Xerox machine, it's a little lighter, and you can see through it, and set that right on top, and you can trace the letters, and then change parts of it. Don't be afraid to move that around and just get the letters right. But here's someone that did school supplies for me, and I'm going to skip that one. And well, let's turn that off a little. I'll turn that off while there we go. So here we go. Here are some winners from the time travel one, and you got some different ages here, but some great. These are students from high school to elementary school who came up with some really good solutions. We see dinosaurs there, and we see there's the Old West. That's a good one. That looks like a young kid. So, like I said, be inspired, be creative, and think outside the box. Do the unexpected. I'll just be honest with you. Doing, a basketball or volleyball is kind of expected. What else could you do? It could come from one of your interests, but it also can come from something just really fanciful and far out there. So, just have fun, think through it, and I think that'll show. And we'll finish off here with some of these student examples.